What is up? I'm going to be talking about something really serious. If I do sound low, my bad. I'm gonna try my best to speak up, but rather than that, I might turn the volume up on this damn memo. But this is what I want to talk about. How do you really get good at Siege? Because I've always seen people in certain chats I'm in, and then they always ask, "How do I get good? How do I get good? How do I get good?" How do you really get good from a copper to a champ, or even if being a bad player to a good player to an average and to a great player, is how to engage. And I'm gonna bring up a certain name, Spoit. Remember in my last video when I talked about how I got into Rainbow and I couldn't really explain my point of view on Spoit? So here in this video, I'm not gonna honestly talk about him, but I'm gonna talk about what I seen from him and learned from him, is how to engage. So you have two ways to engage something. You can face check something, or you can physically ADS and engage, or you lean into something. So when you face check something, face checking is just for information. You're not really trying to fight nobody, you're not really looking for someone, you're looking for things like cap can trap. So you face check, you know what I'm saying? Looking for a mute jammer, you face check, certain things around a certain thing around those lines. Damn, it's fast stutter. And then when you're actually checking, in your ADS, you're engaging for a kill to execute, to make sure this site or this position or this spot is actually clear. So now to put two and two together, when you put face checking and ADS engaging into a mix, you have a way that you call, I don't want to be different, but I'm gonna just say it. You have something called progression. Progression is honestly you doing that push regardless of what you're doing. So even before you ADS or un-ADS, you have an idea how would you push. And to really tell you the truth, when you're ADS'd, you do move slower when you're un-ADS'd. So when you want to face check something, you're gonna move way faster. So that's why it's an advantage. But the disadvantage is when someone's already peeking something and you remove yourself from that face check, they're gonna automatically wide swing you. Why? Because you're already looking narrow. It's a peak you're looking for. So when you want to wide swing, or even not even wide swing, when you want to face check something, you're not honestly looking for a kill. Like I said, you're looking for something, But now, let's say you find somebody and you face checked it, you know what I'm saying? And then now you have to deal with someone wide swinging you versus your mind already telling you to narrow that peak. And you probably might win, probably not, but depends on what it is. But yeah, that's one thing. But now when you're already ADS'd and you're moving, you're progressing, and also you're checking corners, that gives you a head start on just to shoot. That alone helps a lot for anybody. So when you're already ADS, it helps a lot just to shoot. You're not freaked out about you not being ADS or you not being ready. So when you do that, when you put two together, it works perfectly fine. And you may ask yourself, why the hell did I bring up Spoit in this? Honestly, from what I know from this guy, and I promise you I'm gonna watch more of him, but he's the player that I see that has a lot of skill when it's time to execute. It's when you need something done, he gets it done. There's no back and forth. There's no, he's getting it done. That's executions. That's game sense. That's everything in the whole 9 yards of Siege in itself. And I say this because I know you have Uzi, you have Skittles, you have To Kill, you have, Kawa. I'm naming all these guys that I know and I see the skill in them. And it's with Spoit, it's hey, if I see or like ever like hear someone saying let's 5v1 Spoit, all I'm gonna say is that GG's, bro. GG's. And I honestly want to see your favorite content creators go against Spoit, 1v5. I want to see it. And when he picked a Doki, it's game over, bro. He's going crazy. And that's like the real big weight on this video, because it's like, bro, like he's so good. And just for him to be just for him to set an example for people like me or anyone else to be like, damn, bro, like I can actually be better. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, not saying I like watch him like that, because like I said, I barely watch him. But for me, it gotta be Uzi, bro. It gotta be Ooze. It gotta be, bro, like that big push and sheet. But anyways, let's not get off topic. The main video, the main topic. If you want to really not really get better in seed, but if you want to maintain the grind, because don't get me wrong, people do play Siege for a long period of time. They get pretty good, and then they leave Siege, and then they're just back bad. So how can you maintain it after when you leave for like a pretty long time, or like like a little Siege break? How do you maintain? Is you watch videos. That's how I maintain. That's one thing. Two, for your own for your own personal game, how to maintain is not continue playing the game, but play the game in the way that how you started. When you keep on going to the start, like when you keep going back to the first point you started, you end up relearning yourself way quicker, way easier, and honestly, you put yourself in better positioning because you already know the defaults. So it's like when you already know something at default, you don't take a second thought to think about that default, because you know it's a default. It's a core memory that you put in your brain. So now when your brain reads that as a common angle or like anything common, when your brain sees that, your body just reacts to it. So you might get like a cool ass flick just based off your brain realizing everything you're seeing here is so common, you can read it. So you can't really be easy manipulated because you already know what's coming for you. And that's why I want to name this title of this video, Face It or Die by It. Because if you don't face the fear that you might die by something that you know is common, you must face it. If you know, don't try to put yourself in a spot where you don't want to know, because you will know. So really it comes from second guessing. It comes from bad call outs. It comes from not listening to call outs. It comes from the very, very, very small things. And once again, I bring Spoit into this because this guy is crazy. If you want something done, he's getting that shit done. There's no ands, ifs, buts about it. He's getting it done. So in my what's the word? I guess I'll say my revenge. In my revenge, my words, I promise I will watch him more. Because I know he uploads a lot. I know he posts a lot. He streams a lot. So I will watch more. And if he don't stream a lot, he streams for a very long time. So I gotta watch Spoit more. But knowing when to chill out. So you may say, hey, I'm gonna rush in, go Ash, get every kill, and you die. And you do the next round, and the next round, and the next round, and then the next round, and then the next round. Know when to chill out. I don't care if you don't want call-outs. I don't care if you don't want, no one talking. I don't care what you want. But the main thing I want for you to do is chill out. We all hate when we have coppers, bad players in our games, and then they use the excuse, well, this works for me. Or in game, like fuck words, in game, they would sit in a corner and get a kill and not move. So what does that tell you? Don't even bring up call out. Don't bring up ping. Don't bring up anything. What does that tell you? In your mind, what does that tell you? Yeah, You said it. So even if you have an idea that you can possibly get a kill again, but there's a possibility you might not win the game. The ideal of a regular bot player is they always want to win the battles, but when reality is about the war. Don't worry about the small battles. Don't worry about if I could get how many kills I can get. Don't worry about the kills, how you get them. Win the war. The war is the game, the match, not the round, the match. And bad players get caught up in this illusion where they can always do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. No, chill out. You can't. Because once you do that, you honestly limit yourself. And then now when it's time to play rank, you only have that one default mindset because that's all you know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you can honestly expand yourself into dying and knowing these peaks or even the small details, how people set up site. You know what I'm saying? Even the site setups tells you how people are. Even the site setup tells you how bad of a player you are because the things you do. You make a hole, right? Any hole, head hole, rotation hole, any hole. You make a hole, you walk through it one time and you don't see that hole again. Why? Because in your default mind, you're telling yourself, this hole is only meant for something that I must need. No, you shouldn't need a rotation. You shouldn't need a hole. You shouldn't need something to be mobile or like have yourself not being so stuck up in sight as a defender. What you need is something that to be comfortable. I've always said that. Be comfortable in sight. Don't always be so caged up. Be comfortable. Because hear me out. Not every rotation is needed. Not every rotation is safe. Not every rotation will be worked in your favor. So it's not about being like or having a good setup. It's about being comfortable. Because don't get me wrong, half of the times on these maps, people reinforce everything and still win. Why? Because they're comfortable. They know how to move. They know where they're moving. Bro, my words, damn. They know where they're moving to. So even if you want to be better, so the real question is not how to be better. It's what am I doing to be better? So remember, the number one thing to be better in Siege in general for any and every player is know how to engage. Face it or die by it. If you're gonna peek something, peek it to kill. If you're gonna check something, check it to check it. Don't half-ass it because you will get rewarded by death or victory. So trying to be better as a person and to make it bleed into Siege is a deeper thing. It's deeper because it deals with the mental. Constantly dying, having bad callouts, bad teammates, bad aim. The mental gets fucked up, you know what I'm saying? But how to recover from that and how to regain that strength and it's something mental, you honestly have to pick a different op. I'm not gonna get off topic, but pick a different op. If this is your op that you use, I get that, but apparently this op is meant for something that you can't handle. You know, example. Don't use smoke if you're not gonna use his smokes correctly. You hear me out? Checking it? Don't use rook if you're not gonna put your place down. You know what I'm saying? Be real. Don't be Wame if you're not gonna hold your magnets on the right spot. Be for real. You know what I'm saying? Just small things like that. Because you as a player, as a person, may use a player for their weapon. I get that. But we're not playing Call of Duty. We're not here to be comfortable in the acts of we're playing Siege. We're here to win this game. You only be comfortable within your playing site, not for a player. So if you're playing a certain player to be comfortable or trying to use their weapon, but you can't use their gadget, what's the purpose? What is the reason? Why do you really pick this operator? Regardless on what you like about them, why do you really use this operator? You know what I'm saying? So just to really get back into like the real main topic is face it or die by it. Because half of the times when you want to do something, you're scared. You're scared because you've seen this guy die by a one tap. You know, you're scared. You're scared because any reason. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just scared. But when you have an idea, or when you have an idea to do something, you do it. And you just don't do it. Like, it's so cliche. You just don't do it. You have a plan to do it. You figure out how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because before you even push somebody, what do? You ADS. Before you push somebody, what do? You figure out where they're going. Before you push somebody, what do? You figure out how can you approach them without being seen or heard. So every little thing matters in your choices. It's not just Spoit running around, want to shoot somebody. No, he's shooting with a purpose. He leans with a purpose. He hides with a purpose. He camps with a purpose. Everything has a purpose. So the next time you see a bot player hiding in a corner, remember that bot has a purpose and it's useless. So it's like you don't want to put yourself in a bad spot, because it's like you would never move from that spot and then you would die and then blame your teammates for dying. What do you mean? You have the opportunity in your hands to change the game. And like it or not, when a bot, the bot, when you're the last one alive and then the people and your teammates depend on you, you have the wheel. Just don't use your own understanding on being like, this always works for me. I get that. But once we get in my fucking words, bro. My goddamn words. Once you get put in the right lobby, you would regret that old mindset, because it would get you a lot of not kills. You thought wrong. It would not get you no kills, because just sitting in the corner all day, waiting for a kill, not a good thing. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's not healthy for the mindset, because now the mindset is programmed to always wait for a kill when you can't do anything, when you're vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's that deep. Because think about it, when you want to go for a kill or even a flank, you will always be skeptical about a flank and worry about who's coming back. Like, what do you mean? That flank is for a reason, it's a purpose. So if you're flanking and then you're thinking to yourself, someone might come back, that's an easy kill. That person is not coming back to engage. He's quote unquote face checking. So when that person is coming back, to re-engage something else, and you're already flanking, you're already caught them off guard. Like you're already at an advantage here. They're basically face checking it, because they're not really running for safety or running from danger. They're running to cause danger. So by you flanking and then they're not being ADS, it's an easy kill by you. Why? Because you're already ADS. You're already moving. You're already progressing on what you're doing, which is a flank. And then now what? Easy kill. Call out. Oh my God, he's flaking. You know what I'm saying? And now everything changes now, because you made the game changer. You know what I'm saying? You were the cause of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, TMI, I'm so sorry for the mumbo jumbles, and I promised myself I wouldn't do this shit, and I said it in the video, but I don't know, like I said, the videos speed me up, and then I'm actually really tired right now, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, main topic of the video, face it or die by it. And I'm gonna keep saying this, I'm gonna watch bro, I have to now, because not just saying that he inspired me for this video, but it's the fact that that's the only player I could have think of that really made sense to bring this topic up, because the way he has purpose in his skill, and it's not only saying that he has skill, it's talent. I agree with that, but it's mainly skill. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has talent. You know what I'm saying? Everyone can do something that someone can do, but better. But skill, it's a once in a lifetime. It's in the blood. It's made for. It's destined. It's given to you. It's a gift, So not every time you have to be like, oh my gosh, you suck, but he's better. But they're both pros. You know what I'm saying? It's not the fact that he's trash and he's good. It's the fact that he has better skill. You know what I'm saying? He's just better. And once again, not saying someone else sucks, which is absolutely wrong. It's just skill is better and performed at a better risk. Not a risk, a better rating. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and honestly, look, check this out. If that's the case, you can put the same two players who are trash and good to each other and put them on the same team and watch them do good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and not saying 1v1s don't matter, but 1v1s do kind of prove something and they kind of do be fun sometimes. But just put two good players on the same team and watch them be two good players. You know what I'm saying? So like, once again, it's not about someone being trash or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just they have better skill than each other. You know, someone is going to be better than someone else. It has to be. It's part of life. And just to really make it more simple for the people in the back, my point of this video is stop trying to be better than someone else if you can't be better than yourself. Because we all watch TikTok, we all watch YouTube, and we try to be these good players. Why does he swing like that? How does he swing like that? That is so cool. And you try it and you fuck up, bad aim, because they're doing it for a reason. You may wonder, why do majority or most good players face check something, don't die, re-engage, and kill? Because it's for a purpose. Why do you think when bad players face check something, they are checking it but ADSing, shooting by accident, and then trying to regain themselves? It's not for a purpose. It's everything. It's with what they see and like how they feel in the moment. You know, deep down you were frightened. You got scared. You fumbled. You know what I'm saying? You got startled. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not half of the times or shit, all the time when you have a good player or a bad player playing against each other, it's not the fact that one's better, one's good, which is not, no, one's trash, one's good, which is true, but it stands to the matter of fact that someone doesn't know what they're actually doing. That's the deep thing about it, because once again, you see why these good players face check everything and don't die, but they know when to check a certain thing and actually shoot back. You know what I'm saying? So it's just knowing on what you're doing, you know? And of course the good aim, you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff, but like deep down, that's how you really get good at Siege. And once again, I'm sorry for my mumbo jumbo, and I hope I did make sense in this video, because shit, I would be fucking pissed if I didn't, bro. But yeah, I promise, I'm gonna watch Spoit more, because he's cold as shit. Yeah, I guess that's about it, you know? Remember, face it or check it. Yeah, like always, have fun. GG's.